So now that Christine's masquerade dress is fully finished, there's actually a few more things we need to do before the photo video shoot and really to call this whole project complete. Because with any costumes, there are accessories that really help make the whole outfit come together and look good. And so this dress is no exception, or this project is no exception. And so we have a list of accessories to do and create and embellish the accessories to make them look like the accessories that Christine wears in the movie. So the photo video shoot is in 2 days, and I need to get these accessories finished before then, of course. And so today I am going to be focusing on that, and I am going over to my sister's house later, and I'm gonna bring some of that along. But at the same time, I'm gonna try to show you guys as much as possible of the process of these accessories. So let's get started. All right, so we've got some shoes that I need to embellish. So if you look at the original shoes that Christine wears, they were auctioned off, so there's actually some great pictures of those original shoes. And the one thing when I was buying these shoes, which I bought from Amazon, by the way, was this detail here on top of having this trim that not just went around the edge, but also included these scallop parts. Because if you look at the picture of the original shoe, you'll see that the trim here is gold and the rest is pink. And so when I was finding shoes, I really wanted to make sure that I had this trim that I could paint gold and it would look good. And so I did find some shoes that had a strap instead of a tie, which would look like the original shoes, but they didn't have this trim going around it. And so I decided I'd rather have the nice look of the trim that I'll paint gold instead of the strap design. And so that is what I settled on. Again, I bought these on Amazon, and you'll find the link in the description below. And then I will be replacing these ribbons with some pink ribbon instead of the white. So these have to be dyed and then the gold trim painted. And then we've got gloves here, which they don't need anything done to them. They are absolutely perfect for Christine's gloves. I bought them on Etsy. They are a vintage pair, which I was so happy to find them. They were literally the only ones listed on Etsy. Like, there was no other gloves with lace insertion type design. So I was really fortunate to find these, and they were in the right size for my hands. So those are absolutely perfect. And then of course we've got a mask, because it is a masquerade dress, but she never really wears it, which is something that everyone always mentions about the show, but I don't really care much. But she does hold it, and you see it in the scenes. So first of all, this is a tie-on mask, and she is holding her mask on a little stick thing. And so I will be doing that stick. I'll take off the ties and add a stick so it can be held. And then I'm going to add some trim around the edge and then a flower to replicate the mask that you see her holding. So there's some work to be done with this mask. I bought this mask on Etsy, and the link for that will be down below. And then something you can't forget is earrings. There's really not any great shots of her earrings, so I'm trying my best to figure out how I really want to do them. But I did see these beads on a site that I thought would be kind of nice. They're crystal, and there's a teardrop ones. And so I'm going to replace these beads, which are just cheapy, kind of ugly beads. So I'm going to replace the beads on these with these crystal beads. They're a little smaller, and then also these are teardrop, which I think kind of looks like what she's wearing. Of course, there's no good pictures of the earrings, so I really don't know. But that's what I'm gonna do with those. And then another aspect of it is her necklace, which she's wearing her engagement ring on. And it's just a basic chain that I got. And then I bought this ring online, which it's not perfect compared to this picture you see. It's like a promotional shot of her wedding dress and she's wearing a ring. But I thought it still was pretty and kind of matched the style of the dress, and so I got that. I'll put the link for where I purchased this ring down below in the description. But anyway, that's pretty easy. And then there's another aspect to this costume. I need to wear a wig because I am blonde and I do not have dark curly hair. So I got this wig on Amazon, and I have to say this is by far the best wig I have ever purchased, and it was really cheap. So one thing I love about it is the hairline is really natural looking. I can just slip this wig on and it looks really close to being a natural hairline. And I mean, I don't even work on blending the lace in, and it looks pretty good. And so when I take that time to blend in the wig into my hairline, I'm hoping it will look really, really good. So it's just a straight wig right now, and I need to put it up how she has it up, kind of like that. I don't know exactly yet, but I have to do some work on that. And then also she has accessories in her hair. She has a flower in the back and then some clumps of shiny things. I'm pretty sure they're like crystal, like beads clumped together in like almost a flower bunch, kind of looks like. And so I haven't decided what I'm going to do for that yet, but that will follow in what I decide to do. The link for this wig will be in the description as well. So over at my sister's house, I got some paint mixed up to start painting the shoes. I have a pink paint and then an iridescent medium that helps water down the paint and made it a little bit lighter. And so I just got that painted to the lower portion of the shoe, not painting the trim because that's going to be gold. After I got the lower portion of the shoe painted, I went on and did some gold. And I didn't capture very many shots because it was dark and we were watching Phantom of the Opera, so I was a little bit sidetracked. And the only other thing I got done in this evening was disassembling the earrings. I played around with doing it myself for a little bit, but couldn't quite get it right. So it is day 2 of making the accessories and one day before the photo video shoot. And yesterday I didn't get not really a lot done. I just got busy with other things and it just became a busy day. But I did get the shoes somewhat painted, but I'm not super happy with the colors. The gold isn't quite shiny enough. It's kind of dull. And then the pink is a little too pink. Like the lighting is kind of weird right here, but they're very pink. They almost match the same pink as the dress, which if you look in these pictures, it looks like a very pale pink. And so I mixed up some more paint that's lighter, and I'm gonna try putting another coat on there to hopefully lighten the pink look. And then I also have a bit of a shinier paint that I'm gonna try putting over the gold trim just to maybe help shine it a little bit. I don't know if it'll actually work, but we're gonna try that. Just, dressness. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, anyway, back to the accessories. I still have the mask to do. I kind of disassembled the earrings, but I realized I didn't have some tools that I needed. And my brother is the one that he makes earrings and stuff, so I think I might get his help on doing those earrings because I was kind of having a struggle with them. And then also all the little hair pieces. I got some beads that should work. I don't know yet. So anyway, we're gonna try, we kind of need to finish the accessories today so we can do the photo shoot tomorrow. So I will be probably working late on getting those done. So repainting the shoes made the shoes so much better. I used a much lighter paint, added more medium to the paint, which made it a little bit thinner and then also lighter. And I just quickly got it repainted and then again repainted the trim, and this gold color was much better than the original. It was a very bronzish gold before, and now it's a brighter gold. And then I put the ribbon on, and no, I did not use pink ribbon. I decided to go for a gold ribbon that matched the paint really well. On to the mask. So I got a flower that was left over from making the dress, and it was quite large, and so I decided to take it apart and take some of the petals off to make it a more reasonable size for the mask. And then for the trim, I was going to use an actual trim, but decided on more of a loose tulle type trim around the edge, and I put some of these crystals, which I used on the dress, on a piece of tulle. While I let that piece dry with the gems, I grabbed another piece of tulle and I wrapped it around a piece of dowel. This is something I just painted white real quick, and then I wrapped the tulle around it to get it a little more whimsical, soft looking instead of just a piece of wood. And yes, I'm using hot glue. I kind of decided I needed hot glue to make the process go fast, and I can't really sew into this mask, so hot glue was the only way to go. And now, after I got that dowel attached, I am attaching my crystallized piece of tulle, and I just put some hot glue along the edge and then just kind of laid the tulle on there to get a nice little, whimsical type edging to the mask, if that makes sense. After getting that tulle attached around the entire edge of the mask, I'm now going to attach some silk ribbon bows to the one side where the flower will also be attached. And so with these ribbons, I got them cut at various lengths, and I will mention I probably went a little overboard as for how much ribbon I have on the mask. I don't think the original mask has as much ribbon on it, but I kind of just liked the combination of all this ribbon, and so I decided why not. So I just created a bow with all these ribbons all in one. Took a little maneuvering, but in the end I got a nice bow. And then I just got that attached to the mask. And again, I went down the hot glue trail because I had very little time to figure something else out, and so I used hot glue, and that's okay. And then some more hot glue to attach the flower. The mask is finished. The flower is quite large, but I think it's what it's supposed to be based on the pictures that you see of it, and she never really wears it, but she does hold it some of the scenes. So that's what I probably will do during the photo shoot, but it's a masquerade. So now we're going to make the hairpiece. I'm again using another flower. I got these 3 little bunches, and I just was going to place that big one right in the middle. This time I did not use hot glue because I didn't feel like the stems would attach very well to the hot glue, and so I sewed it in place. After I got those 3 bunches of flowers sewn to the main flower, I am now wrapping some more silk ribbon around this barrette, and again, I probably used more ribbon than what was actually used on the hairpiece, but hey, I really like silk ribbon, so I was going to use it. And so I just did a lot of bows and loops and all that, and then I just attached the flower piece thing to the barrette. And again, I sewed it in place because I wanted to make sure it wouldn't come apart. And here's where the filming quality goes way down. It was the evening before the photo shoot. I needed to get things done, and so I was out in the living room sitting on the floor. And these are the hair pieces that I decided to make. They are a mixture of pearl type beads and some crystal beads. So the process of making these little hair pieces started off with creating a little ball at the end of a wire. This is a technique I learned from my brother. With a certain type of wire, when it's melted, it creates a little ball at the end. And so that creates a stopper for the beads, so I can just slide them on. And I just did a combination of the pearl beads and some crystal beads. And I did a combination of 2 to 3 of these bunches on each bobby pin. So some I did 2, some I did 3. And I kind of just varied the placement of the beads to kind of get them more random and not even. And so after I got that twisted together, I just attached it to a bobby pin and securely twisted so it stayed on the bobby pin. And then a nice little fail of spilling beads all over the place. But yes, I just secured the wire in place, got the ends trimmed off, and then kind of just worked that end into the wire. And then I recruited my brother to help me make these earrings because I could not figure it out, and he did this wonderful job. So on to styling the wig. Again, you can find this wig link in the description below. It was really, really perfect for this project. The first step was to take the separate curls and kind of twist them and pin them up along the hairline. And so I'm just kind of smoothing out the curl and then giving it a little twist and pinning it in place. So it almost creating a frame around the hair of these little curl twists. So I am not a hairstylist or a wig stylist or anything like that. I just played around with the hair to really get the look that would best represent Christine Daae. I then smoothed out the curls across the back because this will all be visible and there won't be anything really done to it. And so I wanted to make sure those curls were nice and smooth and curl-like in that back. And now I am going to create a twist that will go up around the head. It's kind of like a crown style. And so I grabbed some hair from under the wig and just got it smoothed out, 2 strands of this smoothed out, and then twisted them both in the same direction. After getting the 2 strands of hair twisted in the same direction, you now twist them in the opposite direction together. And this keeps the definition of the twist, because if you twisted it together the same direction, it would just meld the 2 twists, if that makes sense. So I did it in the opposite direction that I twisted the 2 strands, and then I just placed it along the crown of the head. And then I repeated the process on the other side of the wig because the one twist didn't go all the way around the head, so I just did a second one to go along that one side. And then I kind of just worked the 2 ends into each other to make it look like one continuous twist along the head. Now it is interesting to note that since this hair is so curly, you really don't notice much the definition of the different style that I'm doing. Because if it was a straight hair, you would obviously see that twist and just the things I'm doing. But because of the curls, it kind of all blends together, which I think is really unique with curly hair. And then it was just more smoothing out the curls to make them nice and smooth and nice looking. And then the final step was to take some more hair, give it a little twist, and pin it in place kind of below the head. Where my clip is currently located is about where the flower piece will sit, and so I just took 2 strands of hair, twisted them slightly, and then got them pinned back in that back area. This is to help the hair more sit at the back of the hairstyle instead of in front, kind of near the face, because if you look pictures of the original hairstyle, her hair is definitely all in the back of her head and not really along the sides. And then I could place the hair accessories. And then for these little jeweled bobby pins, I just placed them randomly around the twist part of the hairstyle. And that concludes this hairstyle. I apologize if it didn't all make sense. I have a very hard time describing hair and what I'm doing with it, so hopefully it's somewhat helped. And with that, all the accessories are complete, which means this project is 100% complete, and we can go on to the next video, which is the finished video shoot. So again, thank you guys for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to the next journey. But stay tuned for the finished video as well as a getting dressed video. Thanks again, and go out into your own sewing area and learn, create, and inspire.